Alright, so today I have a kind of different video type for you guys. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I'm going to do a pen test and kind of a first impression video of this cute little bullet graph journal from Sunshine Sticker Co. And I should probably say that the reason that I went on this adventure and found this journal in the first place is because I invested in one of these, which is the Archer and Olive. I don't know what they call it, but it's like a traveler's notebook size. So it's like a half page bullet journal. So I just got dot graph, but they're just short and skinny. And I've been playing with this and I thought it was really cool. I liked the idea, but I realized pretty early on, I was doing math and comparing how I typically use a bullet journal, because until this book I've been using an A5 size about, like I've used a Moleskine a couple of times, but usually I use the A5 and I can generally fit about half a year in one book. But because there are less pages in here and there's less surface area per page, by my math, I was gonna have to buy 4 of these to get through 1 year of calendar. That was a problem because this is like $32. So, and I have feelings about that I can get into later in the video, but essentially I wanted to look online to see if anyone else made a bound journal in this format. And that's where I found these guys. And I really only found this company because I was looking all over Instagram to see if people had tagged this type of journal, this size, to get ideas for spreads and stuff, which if you have one, please put your stuff on the internet. I really don't care if it's beautiful and perfect. I need ideas. Help. Because if no one puts their content up, there's nothing to look at for references and ideas. So it's really hard to find things for this. I'm having a rough go of it, which bums me out. Anyway, but I had found these and it turns out they sell a handful of colors. These two are from the 2020 release, I believe. They're now at a slight discount because I believe she put out the new colors, and I think there's cloth covers now. I don't remember, but essentially I just wanted to get these to see if they could stand up to the quality of what is now becoming the standard of bullet journaling, because this is half the price. This is at full price. This is about $15, maybe $16 if you round it up, and that would be kind of the equivalent of buying 2 of these a year, which is about what I normally spend on bullet journals. So I thought it was worth the money to just kind of test it out, see how it worked. And so I guess first I'm going to show you guys just the major difference in the size. So they are quite a bit smaller than I thought they would be. There's an inch or so at the top that these are just noticeably smaller than the Archer and Olive, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is something to know. The pages are actually, I think, a lot closer to a true half page. Take an 8.5 by 11. It is quite a bit closer to a true half page, because I think these are just a little bit, you know. Anyway, I will pop it up on the screen if I remember incorrectly, but the Archer and Olive, I believe, is 160 GSM, and there's only 160 pages in this journal, with a smaller space. I don't remember the measurements exactly, so I'll pop them up. But then this guy, as per the sleeve on this one, has 120 GSM paper with 192 pages, which was appealing to me because I'm starting to realize I don't really need the 160. I pretty much just use mild liners or Tombows in my pastel colors and a pen 90% of the time, or stickers. The only thing that I use on a regular basis that would ruin a page is the Fudenosuke pens. these markers are really great for writing like the day of the week at the top, and I like them, but they tend to bleed through everything. It doesn't help that I'm pretty heavy-handed, so I want to try using thinner paper because I think it will feel less precious to me, so I won't be as afraid to use it. I think also it'll just have a nicer feel, and I don't need to be spending $30 on a journal for paper that I don't necessarily need. This is not to say that it's wrong for anyone else to do that. Again, this is one of those hobbies where it's all in the eye of the beholder. This is what works for you is what works. So for me, I was really interested in trying these. I like the smaller scale. They're easier to carry around in my purse, since I almost entirely just do calendar pages in my bullet journal and I don't really do trackers or collections at all. Maybe some brain dump pages if I'm having a thought and can't find somewhere better to put it. So I got some of these. I got 2 of them because the color I really wanted sold out while I was hemming and hawing about, do I buy it, do I not buy it? And then the turquoise sold out and I was really sad because it's my favorite color. So I got the purple and the pink. I haven't opened the pink yet because I haven't switched over to these yet, but I thought I would take you guys along with me. So we open this guy up. I believe this is like the fake leather cover. So it's got a little bit of an indentation from the straps, but that's gonna happen over time anyway. So I'm not too heartbroken about it. It does have this really nice indentation in the back with the brand's name on it, which I actually find pretty nice. I like that it's not big and distracting or like a printed color or something, because I've seen some that are like that. So we open this up and it's got the little ribbon for the bookmark. I like that it just has a big box. This is super a picky personal thing. I wish books wouldn't say it belongs to. I never lose them. This is attached to me like my cell phone. It's either attached to me or safely on my desk. I don't leave this anywhere. Also, for how I use them, I would rather have it have like date started, date ended, because I try to keep track of how long I use it. I do that a lot with sketchbooks too. But that's entirely a personal picky thing, and I'm not upset about this. Worst case scenario, I put a sticker on it, who cares? But I like that they just left a big box instead of lines, because what if you wanted to hand letter your name? Oh, cute, like, and the lines are too small. Anyway, and so then, then we get into the pages, and they're not numbered, there's no key, there's no index, and for some people that may be a problem. For me, I don't use any of those, so it makes no difference, and it's actually kind of nice because then I'm not paying for the features in this book that I literally never use. I tried it for like 3 bullet journals and never committed to the whole journal, and then whatever. So the sleeve thing does say that this is a 5mm dot grid, and that's pretty standard, so I'm pretty happy with that. I like that there's a little bit more of a margin in the center here because it's hard to get all up in there with your pen. The pages do feel significantly thinner, but I'm also used to having 160. Is that a couple of pages? No. So that compared to like 160 is generally like freaking cardstock, to be completely honest here. So compared to the Archer and Olive, the dot grid is quite a bit larger. Like the dots themselves are bigger and a little bit darker than the Archer and Olive. The pages are about the same whiteness, but I think this is actually whiter than the Archer and Olive, which would probably matter more if you're doing like paintings or drawings or doodles or something, which I don't, so I don't really care, but might be an interesting note for people. I kind of like the thickness. I still can't really, like, the paper doesn't seem very transparent or anything, but we will see when we get to the pen test. I do kind of wish that the dot grid was more consistent. It looked like some of these pages were closer on one end than the other, and I did kind of like that most of them have that little extra space at the top, just because it's a good place to throw title for the day or whatever. But again, it's not super important because that's the whole point of having a dot grid, is I can just make that myself. So I like the feel of the paper. It feels like it's smooth enough to like be nice, but there is a bit of a texture, so it feels like it'll probably pick up pencil or something really well, or work real nice with my ballpoint pens. It does have this little pocket in the back, which I guess people like that. Every time I put something in there, I forget it exists and I never use it, so. So we are just going to section off this very last back page, and we are going to do a little pen test. So as you'll see, my utensils. Do I have a clip? I thought I left a clip out. I might have packed it. Clip? Clip! Ah, the ever famous, the wire clip. No, stay. Okay, anyway. So, the way this is set up, I tried to guesstimate before I get started things that will absolutely not damage my page to things that are going to bleed and destroy the paper. This is just vaguely based off of having used all of these before, how they tend to interact with paper. So we start from like pencil, go through some ballpoint pens, into some gel pens, and then all of these are markers. And then the Sharpie is kind of the control, because there's not really a paper out there that Sharpie doesn't bleed through. So yeah, we're gonna get started and then find out what happens. Tap, 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 tap. So this is pencil. I like the texture of that. And then what the heck are you called? Atlantis? Okay, fine. Go away. I think that one's funny. And then this is the paper mate. So this is the ink joy. Sharpie pen. And this is my favorite pen that I just bought new ink for. This is a purple Fudenosuke pen. Fudenosuke. Oh, that's backwards. There. And the G2, which I really like how the Pilot G2 writes, but it smears so bad. In my experience, it does not dry fast enough to be useful, which is sad because it is a satisfying pen to write with. Especially for like journal entries and like stream of consciousness. it also just has such black ink. Stabilo. Which I got these in a discount bin for like pocket change. I thought they were the little fine liners that Stabilo makes. I was wrong. That's fine. I didn't grab a normal eyeliner. Gimme. Okay, we'll do this one first. And this is an older one. Brush pens, which has, I've noticed that the newer mild liners, because I even had to replace a couple of my old ones that died, so not just, can't write and talk at the same time, not just the brush tip ones, boy I can't talk and scribble at the same time, but I've noticed the bullet nib is a lot finer and a lot stronger. Which is actually really nice because I tend to write things with that end and not just draw lines. So it's kind of nice to have something that's legible. Okay, and then I have a pastel Tombow because this is a thing that I use pretty regularly. A Zig Writer, which is just a dual tip. So I've got it. And that, I use this one more for art than I do for planning, but it can't hurt to test it out because I have been known to pick it up if I can't find like my Sharpie pens. And this is the dark Tombow. I think this is their black. So I have black and like 2 shades of gray, maybe. Yeah, that's how you spell. Good job, cat. Good job. I'm pretty sure that's gonna bleed through just because this page is thinner. And then I think this is a Kuretake brand. I have no idea because I bought this from a local art shop. I have seen them around, I can find them, but I cannot read kanji well enough to tell you what that says. So, but this is one of those ones where it's got separate actual brush bristles. But then you can still get like really controlled lines out of it if you're careful. I haven't figured out how to be good enough at calligraphy to use it for hand lettering. We're working on it. And then the big Fudonosuke. I've started trying to use these Fudonosuke pens for line art and it does some really cool stuff. So the last 2 are the Sharpie pen and then this Jelly Roll, which is, I forget which one, I don't remember what the sparkles indicate, what line this is, but it's essentially a duochrome pen and the way that the ink settles, it bleeds through literally every paper I've ever had. So it's dying and that's fine because I literally cannot use it on anything. So whatever. In case you're wondering, there are other pens I would use to do this, like my other jelly rolls, but I am in the process of moving, so a lot of them have been packed up. These are the ones that got left out, so these are the ones I have on hand. If I missed anything, feel free to ask in the comments. If I have it, I can test it and pop up a picture and show you guys, but who knows where it is now. So this is my jelly roll from hell. That ruins all of my pages. Because when you first start writing, it looks like it's purple, and then it usually dries to this kind of reflective silver, which behaves differently depending on the color paper you have. Because I've used it on top of like black marker, and it just looks silver. It's kind of cool. And then this is so I am willing to bet that just by looking at this, this dark purple might have bled. I'm pretty sure this black did. The Fudenosuke might. The Sharpie definitely did. I'm interested to see if the jelly roll does, because it never feels like it does, and then it goes real bad on the other side and sometimes bleeds. So without further gabbing, I'm gonna shut up and flip the page now. So all right, so this is what we have, just kind of face down. I can see some of the indentation because I'm really heavy-handed when I write, so I'm not super surprised by that. Also, that was one of the ballpoint pens, so you can see a lot of the indentation from that. The Sharpie absolutely did bleed. The jelly roll kind of bled when I drew a bunch with it, but they both ghost. I'm not seeing... Hold on, I gotta investigate. Yeah, no, there is the barest amount of a little bit of ghosting through here, but it's not that noticeable. I am actually really impressed. I was a little nervous that 120 wasn't going to be enough. When I hold it up to the light, you can kind of see it, like the colors, but that's not bad. So yeah, you can kind of see this stripe here, and then there's the dark purple up here, but the rest of it kind of held up to that test. So there's that. Okay, I'm feeling better about this purchase now, because I did the Scribbles That Matter like pop-up 5-day challenge thing this week, and I'm starting to think that maybe this format is not a good fit for me, and I was feeling really bad because I bought both of these, and I'm like, ah! But if the paper does stand up this well, it's probably going to be fine. It is pilling a little bit from the Tombow, but I did go over it like 4 times here. So it doesn't hold a lot of moisture, so I would probably say steer clear of watercolors if you're going to use this book. Focus on your pens, but like this purple Fudenosuke didn't show up at all. These ones ghost a little bit, but generally speaking, I've been using this Energel pen, so this one here, and I'll use like a Fudenosuke for the titles, but then I've been using these as my, let me be fancy and show you the labels. Ooh, labels. Anyway, I'm weird. Hi guys. So these have been my go-to tools. Sometimes if I can't find one of these, I'll grab like a ballpoint pen. I've been known to use these as dividers sometimes because they're quick, they're thick enough, they lay something down. I do tend to use the pastel ones a little bit, so it's kind of frustrating that this is actually pilling the page, but the likelihood that I'm going to go over something 4 times is pretty slim because it just starts to look weird at a certain point, even if it's not damaging the page. So overall, I'm really happy with how this performed. I'm pretty glad that this held up better than I was expecting, because again, there's not a lot. I was expecting it to do much, much worse than this. So, yeah, I think that's worth looking into. I think they still have these 2 colors in their shop right now, but I had messaged her about the turquoise, hoping that they would get that back in. But once they're out of the 2020s, they're gone. I believe for 2021 she has like a super pastel mint color, a pastel yellow, or it might be a bright yellow. There's one on there that claims to be navy. It looks just like electric blue to me, but there's a darker blue, a gray, and then I think a black and a white. Maybe. I'm very sure that I'm missing some colors, but there's a bunch of colors. They look really nice. I think she said that some of them were cloth covered, but again, I'll have to look at, I don't know. I'll put some links. I think their shop is cool. I think it's cute. Some of their sticker stuff is cute, but I haven't quite delved into buying stickers from people yet because I am afraid of committing to it, I guess. I don't know, but as for journals, I'm pretty excited that these exist. I'm pretty excited that they stand up to that test because, like I said, if you're all about the luxury, this is great. If you're all about needing that really, really thick paper and you need to do watercolor and stuff in it or whatever, this is a decent option. But I was, okay, mini rant time. I was really frustrated when I went to buy this because it's very expensive. Now, $30 for an A5 journal, I get. I do get that a lot of care and a lot of attention goes into that. I do get that it's a smaller shop. And I do totally get that they have to, like, you know, get paid for what they're doing. Totally not a problem with that. But the fact that this has 160 instead of, like, I think it's 190 in the larger books, and it has less surface area per page, and the fact that this is only like $1 or $2 cheaper than the larger book with more paper kind of upset me. It's kind of put me off of it a little bit, especially because I'll be completely honest with you guys. I get that they're like the cult favorite. Everybody loves Archer and Olive. And I'm not saying that they're bad and awful. I just think it's a little overpriced because I have a handful of books from, see if I can reach one. Short arms. Because I have some of the notebook therapy books, which are they're the A5. There's a bunch of pages. I think there's more pages in these than in the Archer and Olive. I'll figure it out and pop it on the screen if I'm wrong. But, like, you know, the same basic generic cardstock 160 paper stands up to everything. It also has the really simple black with a design on it. This is the fancy one from Milk 2 because I'm spoiled. I got 2 of them as a birthday gift on accident, so that's exciting. But anyway, my point being that you can go to other brands that have more designs and more options and get the same kind of paper that's in this one. The Scribbles That Matter that I had a while back was the 161, and it has the key, it has the index pages, and all the pages are numbered, and there's a built-in page pen test page in the back, and I think it's cheaper than the Archer and Olives, or at least about the same price, and you can get them in a handful of different colors, and they have some with the fancy indented designs or some without, if you want to decorate it yourself. I'm a little frustrated with Archer and Olive because I like the product, I like the cloth cover, but I was very excited when I saw this specific one because my style is so specific. A lot of their designs and colors do not suit me at all. And it's great that they have them. I do think they're cute. I do appreciate them, but they're not me. This is one of the first ones that was really me, and it's the only one in this format that was suitable to me at all. I do like some of the ones they come out with, like around Halloween and some of those ones, but they sell out pretty quickly and I've always missed out on them, so I'm bummed about that. It's mostly just me and my personal opinions. So I'm pretty excited to find a very similar thing with more paper. Like I said, it's got thinner paper, but that's not gonna bother me and what I'm doing at all. And the fact that these are like $15 or $16 a piece, these two would be half a year. I am getting more than just the 3 months in here because we are into May, as you can tell by my little tabbies. But I've got like half the book left, but I am also about to change up how I use it and start doing more dailies and start doing other things. But yeah, I was just kind of salty about the fact that I paid about the same for this as I did for this one, which is bigger and thicker and has more pages, just because of that brand name and because it has the 160, which I don't need. So if you're looking for a good alternative to this book, to this brand, if you want to try this tiny format and have something that's more pocket friendly but not quite A6 small, I would highly recommend this. I'm hoping to get to switch to them fairly soon, but who knows, because I feel like I have to finish this one first, and then I have these I want to flip through. I have another journal that I want to flip through because I'm almost done with my daily journal, like my personal journal, where I just spit out my thoughts. But I was planning on putting that in one of my Mostery books because I got the dot graph journal for that. Because I got this beauty, and it's got two of these, and I really like them because you can like not see that dot grid at all, which is kind of cool, but the paper's so thin I definitely could not use these to bullet journal with anything other than like a pen. Because if I look in here, because yeah, you can see there's ghosting just from using the Energel pen that I have, and since that's the pen I use for everything, that's not really acceptable to me. But it feels really nice to write on it, so like as a journal and not a bullet journal, it would be fine. I don't mind the ghosting if I'm just writing in it to spit out thoughts, but for a planner, I want it to not ghost quite that bad. But I think this will work really well as a planner. So yeah, this whole Scribbles That Matter 5-day challenge thing has got me all sorts of confused about where I'm going and what I'm doing with my journals though, you guys. So I'll probably have to check in with you guys at the end of May, beginning of June, to let you know where I'm at and what I'm actually doing, because between all of these journals I have amassed, all the journals that I want to buy, I want to try the square size that I know Art Journal has. I've been looking into cheaper alternatives for that because I think the square would be much better for like weekly and monthly calendars. But who knows if I'll find something I like. But yeah, there's a lot of weird things changing. All of this journalness, I have too many journals. I'm rethinking my whole approach. I'm moving next week, so yeah, at the time of this recording, who knows what I'm doing? I'm pretty close to narrowing it down, but I'll just have to check in at the end of the month and let you guys know. But yeah, so I guess my final thoughts. These are super great. I'm excited to use them. If you can, I would strongly recommend going and finding them, trying them out if you're interested in this format, in this style. If you want something not quite as hefty as 160, but not as translucent as the Moleskine or the Wikström books, I think this is a good alternative. I am hoping to do more journal reviews like this as I find more and more brands to kind of test out paper and let y'all know, because man, I have an addiction and this gives me an excuse to buy more. Maybe that's not good. Who cares? I'm gonna keep doing it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm going to tape a different outro for this because I don't know what I'm saying. Yeah. Alright. It's a good book. Buy it. Alright, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it and want to see more bullet journal content like this, comment down below or like the video. There should be a master link in the description where you can find all my social tags, as well as the link to my Ko-fi page where you can help me out, buy me a coffee, and make it so that I can buy more journals to explore with you guys. Thank you guys again so much. I'll see you next time.